Hola, buenos días. Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm gonna make an introduction for the Spanish partners, that are joining to this webinar. Later, we will do a presentation, in English. So, buenos días. Veo a Antonio Portal, Javier Carbajo, José Ignacio Sánchez. Buenos días. El webinar de hoy es para presentaros la nueva solución de Contact Center Hub que hemos lanzado, que lanzamos ayer. Os agradecemos que os hayáis unido. Vamos a esperar un poquito más a ver si tenemos a todas las personas que se han inscrito al webinar, ¿vale? A ver si los tenemos por aquí y podemos empezar. Esperamos unos 5 minutos, ¿vale? Y damos comienzo. We are going to wait for 5 minutes, okay? Just to give some time to people to join us.
Yes, I think we have 11 participants now. Maybe we can also start slowly.
Ok. Vale, voy a empezar un poco comentando cómo va a ser la presentación. En principio vamos a tener unos, primero, bueno, os voy a presentar a los ponentes en español, ¿vale? Tenemos a Gerard Bader, que es el Head of Solutions and Customer Care en NFON, ¿vale? Y él nos va a hacer la presentación de la herramienta, viendo las ventajas, los beneficios que esta solución va a ofrecer a vuestros clientes, ¿vale? Hablaremos también de nuestro proveedor de esta solución, que es Dactela, y también Cristian, que es Senior Product Manager, pues dará también soporte a la presentación de Gerard, que serán como unos 20 minutos. Después, Philip Mervald va a hacer, que es el Solutions Technical Consultant de NFON, nos va a presentar la herramienta, ¿vale? Veremos la plataforma en sí, cómo funciona, para que podáis verlo. La idea es hacer 20 minutos en la primera presentación de Gerard, otros 20 minutos en la presentación que va a hacer Philip y dejar unos 10 minutos al final para resolver cualquier duda o pregunta que tengáis. Esto no quita que durante la presentación también podáis levantar la mano o hacer alguna pregunta, incluso usar el chat si queréis, ¿vale? Para hacer la pregunta que creáis conveniente. Al final de la presentación se enviará por email, se enviará esta presentación, este PowerPoint, ¿vale? Para que lo tengáis. Y también que sepáis que este webinar va a ser grabado, ¿vale? Así tendréis la oportunidad, bueno, pues de revisarlo las veces que queráis. Va a ser grabado y os lo enviaremos también, ¿vale? Bien, pues eso es por mi parte. I have finished the Spanish presentation, so if you want to start.
Thank you very much, Carmen. I will take over. Good morning, everybody, and thank you very much for your time. It's a pleasure to show you our latest product in the NFON portfolio, the NFON Contact Center Hub, which we released yesterday, I think, if I have it right in mind. So it's pretty new stuff we're talking about today. Sitting in Austria, pretty cloudy and rainy, so hopefully you have better conditions in your countries. And of course, I have to continue in English. I'm not so good in Spanish, except eating and drinking. But if I use strange words or if I'm talking too fast, please do not hesitate to stop me at any time, and I will try to explain it in another way. Let's jump into the session. We have about 20 minutes where I will talk about some general topics, and I will do my best to sum it up in the shortest way. So it's more or less to give you an idea what we're talking about. The much more exciting part follows up with Philip. He will show you the real system and some nice demo cases. So let's talk a little bit why we choose Dactela, the supplier, as our technology partner for the contact center hub. And then we dive a little bit into the, let's say, key topics around contact center as a service, and of course, an overview about the features. And as mentioned before, we show you how it looks like right afterwards. Contact center as a service. So why do we need to talk about that at all? Or why do we need products in that area? It is one of the most rapidly growing part in our market. And we do not go into details about the figures, that doesn't matter at all, but the graphic shows that it's growing like hell in almost any country we're doing business in, and of course in the others as well. And that means that we're talking about 30% of the actual contact center market is already in the cloud, which means there's a huge potential to catch up the rest who's waiting for a proper cloud solutions like the contact center hub, of course. We can see that we have an overage growing, it's especially focused on Europe or the western part of Europe, around about 20%. And if you keep in mind that we do not have so many customers out there yet, and we entered that market now with a pretty cool product, and the market is growing like hell. So you see that there is a huge potential behind that topic. In general, we can say, and that means we were looking through different market studies, all the branches are growing in that area. But of course, there are some with exceptional growth rates, banking, finance, insurance, like always in the contact center area. But IT, telco, consumers, retail, of course, is a very, very important branch for us. And last but not least, we see that the main competitors or the well-known brand, I'm thinking about Genesis, Enghouse, all those companies are more focused on large enterprises. And that give us the possibility to dive deeper into the small and medium enterprises. So our main customers we focused on, and with the contact center hub, we have a really cool product to address that area of customers out there. I will keep it on that. If you have questions or you want to get more background information, we'll have, of course, time to look into your questions. Let's jump in those SME challenges in the meaning of what are the drivers to address that area, to launch a new product in that segment. When you look at those marketing studies, you see that almost 90% of the companies see customer experience as the most important driving topic in the meaning of customer relationship, customer retention. And on the other hand, or another point of view, around 80% of people who were asked told us that they stopped doing business with certain suppliers because of a lack of customer service or even a bad customer service. And another important topic that most of users expecting or customers expecting a quite short handling time. So we are around about 24 hours, around about a day, where you can react, where you can solve problems for customers, and it still would be recognized as a good service, but it should not take more time. And at the last, almost half of the people who were interviewed already changed their suppliers or canceled business with companies because they did not feel welcome. I mean, I think everybody of us knows such a situation. So it's not only getting the right answer in the right time, it's the whole situation you're into and the feelings you have. Do you feel welcome, or is it like stealing the time of an agent I'm talking? And keeping those drivers in our mind, you will see that our contact center hub delivers the feature set to address exactly those challenges. The question why we choose Dactela could be best answered by Christian Bögel-Buchner, who did the whole contract discussions and who was part of the decision makers. So if you would like to take over, Christian.
Sure. Thank you, Gerhard. So it is now close to 18 months actually that we prepared this product launch. And at the beginning of, you can imagine, there are so many manufacturers of contact center solutions out there. So why the hell did we choose Dactela and maybe not, I don't know, Genesis or one of the others? So, or why didn't we do it ourselves? I mean, we have lots of developers ourselves as well. So let me give you a short summary of why we chose Dactela. So first of all, Dactela is not very well known in the Western Europe region, but however, they are #1 in contact center solutions in Czech Republic and Slovakia. And they're doing this business since 2008. Back to 2020, they had about 800 customers already. So this is nice, but why is that important for us? So if we as NFON looking for a new contact center solution, then it is because our current one is nice, is well known, at least in the German and Austrian regions. But you know, we lack some modern features in terms of omni-channel, and of course we want to address the whole European, Western and Eastern European area with a new contact center product. And that means we need a partner that has a kind of a proven power of execution and know about the processes, how to roll out many installations in a day. So because when we go Europe-wide, then it will be many installations, not only one a week or so. So we needed a partner that can prove that. And on the other hand, we wanted to rely on a partner who has already proved that their business already has grown. And if we look at the figures from Dactela, so they were growing continuously about 28% from one year to another. So that showed us, okay, we can rely on the performance of this company. Okay, so then, but as Gerhard already told, there were lots of manufacturers out there with a rich set of features and very powerful, but they had, most of them have the main focus on the large enterprise sector, and most of them, they come from the on-premise technology. So in opposite, Dactela has very much focused from the beginning on cloud only and on API-based architecture, and their motto always has been bringing enterprise features to the SME market. And this was actually the, let's say, this was the sentence that stopped us here and said, okay, we need to have a closer look on that, because SME market, that's actually our target group. However, we won't limit ourselves to that. So, and with this partner, we have really a powerful tool set that fits to the SME market. I mean, its features have been made easy to use, easy to configure. There are some goodies in that where, especially for SME customers, will find them very useful. But on the other hand, it's feature rich. We can serve customers with 1,000 agents as well. So there is no limit on that. And last but not least, if we partner with such a manufacturer, it's not about features, it's not about money, it's also about, Gerhard, you said before, for the customers, it's very important, this aspect of appreciation. And of course, it's always people that working together. And that again, this is a very important issue, that the cooperation together with the Dactela guys is a really good one. We feel very well both sides. It's a very tight cooperation also with R&D, and has been an excellent work from both sides during the last 18 months. And finally, excellent price performance ratio is exactly that what we want to offer to you and to your customers from now on. Thank you, Gerd.
Great, thank you very much. So let's jump, if my mouse works, yeah. Let's jump to some kind of summarizing the most important benefits for our business together. They're pretty obviously, of course, but let's take the chance to name them and put them together in a slide. Of course, such a new product is, of course, a good time to talk to our existing customers again. You now have the possibility to deliver a solution which on one hand focus on the right customers and their needs, and on the other hand is pretty simple to go live with. And pretty simple to go live with is not only it's easy to create an offer, we can do demonstration, it's easy to configure. When you look at customer or the user experience, it's pretty simple to use. And I think that's one of the most important parts because you have less efforts to train the users. It gives the users the possibility to try new feature or feature sets because they're very easy to access them. And that leads us on the third topic that gives us the opportunity to upsell existing customers. Of course, we can do a call distribution with Cloudia telephone system, N monitoring queues, or even N contact center. But now we are talking about real omni-channel solutions and a real user experience, which could, of course, add a lot of benefits to even existing products out there with our customers. Of course, it gives us a good chance to add new channels at existing customers. I mean, I'm pretty sure most of our customers use some kind of call distribution, as any company out there in the world. But now you really have a chance to add email management or to add a chat channel on your web page, or even think about WhatsApp with just adding licenses and with really less effort in the meaning of time you need to set it up, to train it, and to bring it to life. And of course, last but not least, contact centers are always nice to have for large enterprise, as Tristan already mentioned before. Now we have a solution which delivers large enterprise feature set, definitely. Especially when you look into monitoring, analysis, customer satisfaction monitoring. But when you look into the efforts to bring it up to life, and if you look into the pricing, we are ready for the SME market. And I will keep it like that, so that's more for the sake of completeness to talk about that. Of course, I think more exciting for today are the features we're talking about. What do we have now compared to an contact center or to a Cloudia telephone system? Yeah, to save some time, we try to put them together in 5 important topics. The customer contact solution itself, or the contact center solution itself, with the feature set behind, is of course very important. That true omnichannel story. We now talking about integrating new communication channels in existing ones. You have voice, you add email, but it's not just another channel beside existing ones. We create one single way to communicate using different medias. That's very, very important when you think about history. Somebody calls you up asking about the email he or she sent the day before. You will see that now on your screen in a single window, and you can follow up the customer journey back in time. Another very important topic in that area, that's for sure, integrating infrastructure. Of course, most of our customers do have tools out there, like a Salesforce or whatever, you name it, and we need to integrate. But integration do not mean there is an API or an interface we're connecting to and just showing existing data from existing tools. The contact center hub delivers you CRM and even ticket system features as a standard feature set in the software, in the solution, which means you can retrieve a lot of information from other systems, and then you can decide using the Dactella feature set which information you would like to see on your screen. And you can have 1,000 different informations like we have with NFON in Salesforce, but you might only want to see 5 of them in the moment you talk to a customer. And another one, reporting, yeah, mandatory in the contact center area. Again, not talking about how much time I spend on the phone and what is the waiting time. We are talking about analysis in the meaning of how much steps were necessary to solve an issue and case. How often do I have to involve other colleagues to solve a case? And last but not least, moving to customer satisfaction, a net promoter score and customer satisfaction scores, just to name it. We can dive into it a little bit later on. And a very important topic for today, because everybody's talking about, not so many are using it, but if you want to sell a contact center solutions, you have to have the possibility to add that kind of features. And we're not talking about interactive voice response or voice menus in the meaning of press 1 for sales, press 2 for technique or something like that. That is, of course, basic stuff we can do yet already now. We're talking about chatbots, and we're talking about a kind of artificial intelligence. Let's dive a little bit deeper into it. That is just the headline, and you don't have to recognize all my words I told you before. What does it mean, superior level of customer contact? Of course, we need to talk about call distribution. That's part of the story, but that's not so exciting anymore. We, of course, can talk about outbound campaigns in the meaning of delivering different dialers and campaign features in the background. That kind of communication history I mentioned before. You do not only know that you have 3 calls in the past and 7 emails and 4 WhatsApp communications. You have 1 single case with a customer showing the whole history back to the beginning. And of course, more state-of-the-art topics, you can add video to your phone conversation if you want to. Co-browsing, very badly and hard missing features in the past is available now. Of course, we have that voice menu, interactive voice response system, that basic automation is part of the whole story as a standard feature. And pretty cool, what was missing, at least in Austria, in a lot of projects, you have a knowledge management system integrated, which means you can give the agent, the user, the possibility to get access to the right information in the right time, stored in that knowledge base in the background, which is as well missed in the moment with our standard products in that area. Enhanced reporting, I already mentioned a few topics about it before. Of course, we're talking about supervisor features. A supervisor needs to know what is going on. They need to know who is available, who is in a call, what happens right now in real time, and of course, on a historical base. Wallboards are mandatory in that area, freely configurable as any number you need. We can create them. We have now dashboards available, which is more or less a wallboard, but in a more modern way. So you can create any number of dashboards with any number of information based on users, because the agent needs another information compared to the supervisor, compared to somebody in the management. And of course, the user tracing in the meaning of how does my agent spend their time over the day? How much time it takes to handle emails? how much time it takes to handle all those different medias when you bring them together. That is now possible in a very easy and very user-friendly way. That true omnichannel experience, we cannot mention it too often because that was really a handicap in the past. With the Cloudia telephone system and n-monitoring queues, there was no way for omnichannel at all. That was call related, of course. With JTEL, we could, or in contact center, we could add other communication channels, but it was one channel next to the other. And it was pretty challenging to bring the different information from the different channels together. And now, with the Tactela solution, with the contact center hub, we have the chance to get any number of channels and bring them together in a single user interface on the screen of your laptop. And the channels we support so far are, of course, voice and email, where the email is often mentioned as help desk feature set. We support SMS and web chat, of course. There is already, from the social media area, is already Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp and Viber integrated. Microsoft Teams integration on a very high level is available. Mobile apps, that is another topic we badly missed in the past. You can use almost any feature on your mobile phone now with an app on Android and iOS, of course, and a quite nice feature set, which is not so badly missed, but needed from time to time. When you think about pure contact center companies, they still have some colleagues in the background responsible for administration or whatever. They're not really part of the contact center, but they still need to have telephone system features. And those feature sets for those people in the back office are part of the story as well. Integrating other systems, I already mentioned it before. On one hand, we talk about integrating existing infrastructure, and with Tactela, we can integrate everything with a standard or common API or interface. And you will see later on with Philips, a lot of suppliers are already part of the story. And of course, we are happy to add new ones if you find some solutions which are not integrated yet. So we can retrieve information from third-party systems and we can send information to third party. The cool thing with Tactela, you have CRM and ticket system features included in the solution, which give you the possibility to create the view the users need. You don't have to look into our Salesforce with a lot of informations if you don't need them. You see the most important informations you need right in that moment on your screen. And that's freely configurable. You can have another view for any user in the system if you want to. There is no limitation, the meaning of license or whatever. It is just configuration time. And as Philip will show you later on, it's pretty easy to configure. And of course, state of the art, even if it's not heavily used in the small and medium enterprise, but it now gives us the possibility to deliver an integrated feature set when we look at chatbots, which are so easy to configure that even small companies would like to start with that kind of technology. And of course, you can always integrate existing or external bots in the meaning of there is a chatbot already in place, or you already working with natural language processing, and those systems can be easily integrated in the whole contact center hub story. And of course, last but not least, it's not only chat, which means text-based automatization. We're also talking about voice recognition in the meaning of using voice bots, and the other way around with text-to-speech. We are able to get rid of that pre-recorded announcements. You have a text and you create an announcement using text-to-speech or TDS engines. Okay, I think that's it so far. And when I look at the time, it's good. And I should hurry up a little bit. Anyway, I would like, for the sake of completeness to show you another slide I just got yesterday, so please do not look at the quality so much, but I think it's a quite nice point of view to the whole story. We're talking about call centers. That is Cloudya telephone system with N monitoring queues. We have contact center. Contact center means N contact center, the JTEL solution. And of course, we start with Dactella in the area. But more important, we now can move to so-called experience centers. And what does that mean now? Just most important topics again. With call center, of course, we look at voice distribution. It's more important to reduce handling time, to reduce costs with a good call distribution. And most important in that area, how much time people are waiting, how much the time they just spend on the phone and so on. And of course, human beings are in the background handling all those calls. With the contact center, we now add channels. We now look more to resolution times in the meaning of how much time it takes to solve an issue, how much steps are needed, and it gets more important how fast we are responding, in which quality we can respond. So it leads us more to customer satisfaction already, and it starts with the first basic automatizations. Enter your partner number, enter one for sales, and so on and so on. Recognizing phone numbers to announce the right language in a waiting queue. And experience center we can handle now with Dactella are using omni-channel. So there is no single channel, there is one channel serving different medias, and we're looking more into the satisfaction. We try more to focus on customer satisfaction, the meaning of keeping them as a customer in our world, and using, of course, that so-called net promoter score or the customer satisfaction score, just measurements to point down the current level of quality and satisfaction from a customer point of view. And of course, it now opens the door in a really easy way to talk about automatization, bots, voice recognition, artificial intelligence. Okay, I think that's it. Let's jump to some packages and some pricing examples. And please keep in mind, we're talking about pricing examples. It's just to give you an idea in which areas we're talking about. It's always pretty challenging, even with internal discussions. Should we show prices? Should we not show prices? But everyone wants to know how much it costs, of course. So here you have a good indication where we are. And the good thing is that Dactella reminds me a little bit of Lego. So you have a lot of single parts you can put together. But to make it easier, we created bundles. And but those bundles are not written in stone, so you can always change that, and the whole flexibility and background is available, of course, but it makes your life a little bit easier. We have the pure package where we're talking about voice, but the CRM feature set is also part of the story to recognize, to identify incoming callers. Call recording is part of the story with even 6 months of storage and no limits around that so far. And of course, that reporting story with wallboards is part of it since it's mandatory. Another package is focused on campaign management, which is pretty the same like the pure package, adding all those dialer feature sets in the background, the campaign feature set you might need to run an outbound contact center. Help desk lead us to email handling ticket system feature set named as help desk, and of course all the other parts from the pure package as well. When you look into social media communication channels, we have a social package. Again, the pure features are included. The ticket system, the help desk feature set to handle emails are part of the story. Web chat is part of the story, and a free channel to choose from. And last but not least, we have the ultimate package to enable pretty almost and everything which is available in the solution. And of course, you can mix those packages. You might have 10 agents using Pure because that's enough, but you need 3 other ones taking care of chat sessions. Then you add 3 times the social package. And in the background, you have all those features as a single license as well. So it's pretty easy to take the social package with chat, for example, and you would like to add WhatsApp, then you can add WhatsApp as a separate license if it's more cost effective than taking the ultimate bundle as well. So the flexibility is there. Those packages give you a very easy entrance to deliver it to the customers. Okay. So good so far. I just look into the question answer. So there are 2 possibilities since there are no questions. I'm too fast or too boring, or there are really no questions at all. But I think there might be some questions when we now switch to the real life system. And I'm happy to hand over to Philip.
Okay, thank you very much. I will take over the screen sharing. Just need to choose the right screen. Okay, so you can see the screen?
Yes.
Thank you. At least one is responding. Okay, very well. So we're going through the user interface now a little bit, and we're gonna follow Christine through her day. Christine is actually working for an NFON partner and is doing the day-to-day communication with the end customers. Before we jump into it, I will quickly go through the user interface. We're going to start afterwards with the first part, the true omnichannel experience, the email integration. But first of all, you can see on the left side, the menu. Christine is actually a contact center agent as well as a supervisor. And I also enabled all the configuration parts. That's more for demonstration purpose at the moment. Of course, it's fully flexible, so you can decide per user, per agent, what they are allowed to see, what they're allowed to do, whether they can just read it, change it, whatever you want to have. And in the beginning, we've got the dashboard, usually the main screen where you're waiting for additional inbound calls, emails, and whatever. So you can already see an overview what's happening at the moment or happening today. So you've got all the different channels and a quick overview what was going on. You can add additional metrics, additional values when you want. For example, a supervisor would probably have more information here than every other agent. It's not really distinguished which focus you have as an employee. It's more like what you add, what you want your people to see, and what they should be able to see here. And on the bottom at the moment, I've got my calendar. I have all the last activities and probably missed activities, postponed activities, and so on. So I have pretty much everything available at the moment. And as I already said several times, it's fully flexible. So you can decide per user what they are allowed to see and what they have on their dashboards. Okay, now, as soon as I go ready, the user interface changes a little bit. So first of all, on the left side, I get the additional channels I've currently enabled for my agent, in this case for outbound functionality. I've got the recent activities in case there are any at the moment, or missed calls or so on. Then, of course, I've got user status to change, so I can go to pause or whatever. Of course, again, fully flexible. I've got several different channels available. So for example, inbound calls, inbound web chats, emails, and so on. So I can either decide on my own where I want to be available, or of course it can be assigned fixed like it is in this case. And of course, a full text search through the whole system. So I've got everything available immediately when I search for it, and I can directly jump to tickets or whatever. And as we just already saw, I already received an email from a customer. I will directly jump into it. So this inbound email is automatically creating a ticket. First, a few words about the ticket system. The ticket system has on the left side different views. The views are actually just filters. So you can create as many views, as many different kinds of views as you like. You can arrange them. You can allow for several users, remove them, whatever. So an email or a ticket can actually be in several different categories depending on what you want to have. It's really fully flexible. The ticket itself is automatically already, of course, recognized that it is from my customer Universal Telecoms, and Philip Merwol was actually writing the email. And obviously, standard features like a deadline, who's the user who is assigned to the ticket, and so on and so on. Now, in this case, the customer is asking for an upgrade to Business Premium, and he needs some assistance on the topic. So first of all, I'm going to change the category because it's a sales category. And then this can, of course, also be automated based on subject or content of the email or sender or whatever. Okay, so he needs some assistance on upgrading to Business Premium. So I'm directly replying the email. So again, of course, I've got all the information available when returning the email. In this case, what a coincidence, of course, I already have the template available for answering that email. So just adding some additional words, dear Mr. Merwald, and some additional text already predefined up front. And in addition, I'm gonna add the order form for upgrading to Business Premium to that email. Looks good, pretty much done. So I'm just sending the email. Okay, perfect. So for now, I need to wait for the customer to respond to my email. So I'm gonna set it to in the waiting status. This is a macro, so I can define them on my own to have a little bit more automatization. So I don't need to change the status or whatever. So I can directly click on that and it's doing whatever I set up before. Very well. So was pretty busy day already. So I'm gonna get a coffee, or Christine is going to get a coffee. So while she's going to the coffee machine, she suddenly recognized she didn't change her status. So she's pulling up her mobile phone, opening up the native app, which is coming with the system. The native app is offering exactly the same functionality, of course, a little bit limited in size and so on, but adjusted to the mobile phone. So again, I've got all the states or what was going on today. I have full access, for example, to my CRM system, so to all the contacts. I even have access to all the tickets, so we can also find the ticket I just answered to. Just take a quick look at it. So of course, whatever I answered is already there. Most importantly, of course, you can change your queues where you're logged in, and of course, also change the status. That's what I actually wanted to do at the moment because I'm still waiting for my coffee to be done. Okay, very well. I'm on break now. So now in the next step, we're going to take a look at the superior level of customer contact. The inbound routing is, of course, something which I cannot easily demonstrate, so I will quickly jump into the configuration to show what is set up in this case. Inbound emails in this case are easily routed just by the caller ID. So all the Austrian numbers are routed to a German queue, very same for the German numbers. And for all other callers, I've got a simple IVR menu where I can select the language. So it's in this case, 1 for German, 2 for English, and T for timeout. So whenever the customer doesn't press anything, then it's also ending up in the English help desk. And of course, exactly in the right moment, I should go to available again, because otherwise I won't receive the call. And of course, exactly in the right moment, the customer is calling probably because of additional questions about what I answered before. So in my call, I can again I have all the available information at hand, so I can see the contact details, I can see the account in the background, and of course I've got all the previous activities with this contact. In addition to that, I've got the full list of tickets. So the customer is telling me that he has some additional questions about the email he sent before. So I'm directly assigning the ticket which was created earlier today. In addition to that, I've got the knowledge base available. So the customer has some additional questions about Claudia. So I'm just opening up this article and helping him out whatever he needs in this case. So finally, I'm adding some comments to my to this call, so that the customer had some questions about the order form, and he also has some questions about getting additional local phone numbers. I'm done with the call. I'm just setting an additional status. This is not required, this is optional, but it's helping me, for example, to do reporting afterwards, because I can report based on the topic Claudia in this case, for example. Okay, I'm saving the call, I'm done with that. And as I mentioned before, the customer wants to buy additional phone numbers. So I'm opening up the ticket again, where I can, of course, again, see the call. I can see the description I added. And in this case, I'm just adding a child ticket. Because as I said, the customer wants to order additional numbers. So I'm adding a quick comment to it. I'm changing the title. And in this case, I'm assigning the ticket to Daniel, because Daniel is much better in handling additional phone numbers than I'm, or Christine is. Okay, very well. So the new ticket is created. So I'm going back to my dashboard. So the next topic, we're going to look into enhanced reporting and tracking. I'm changing to back office work so that I'm not disturbed by any calls in this at this stage. So I just want to take a look at all the reporting stuff. So first of all, we've got the real-time view. The real-time view is built for supervisors. So you've got all the current information available again. So you've got a list of all active activities which are currently going on the system, like handling calls, handling emails, handling chats. You can even jump directly into chats and follow in live what is sending back and forward. You've got all the users available, so you could, for example, change queues, you can switch them to unready and so on. You've got a separate list of pauses, so all agents which are currently in pause. In this case, it's just me. And of course, some more or less historical, or not historical, but current values for the different queues which are available in the system. In addition, like Gerd already mentioned before, of course, we've got also wallboards. So wallboards are more designed to be, for example, put on a screen, on a TV screen somewhere in the room, or now it is probably somewhere on the second screen in the home office. So I'm just opening up this wallboard. Again, of course, fully flexible. So you can add whatever you want to have on the wallboard, whatever metrics you want to have there. In this case, I just added the two queues, the two inbound call queues with all the additional figures, what was going on with the calls today, how many agents are logged in at the moment, and so on. I've got all the agents listed up separately. In this case, it's just me. I was handling 7 calls today, for example. On the bottom left-hand corner, I just added the ticket system, metrics about the ticket system, so how many tickets are opened in which category. And as my customer, Universal Telecoms is the most important customer to me, I added an additional metric here, which is telling me how many tickets are not closed at the moment for this specific customer. And again, as I said, fully flexible, so whatever filter, whatever values you want to have, you can for sure add them in the wallboard, in the dashboard, and wherever else. Now, I will take a quick look at the listings. The listings is actually quite a huge part, so I will just quickly browse through it. Of course, you've got all the calls going on, all the emails and so on with all the details. You can directly jump into them and see again additional data where this email has been distributed to what was happening with the email and so on. But probably most importantly, the user tracking. The user tracking is allowing me to follow specific users through the whole day. So to monitor them, how their performance is and what they did through the day. I'm just switching the view a little bit so that you can see a little bit more. So in this case, it shows me again. And when we go to the right part, so it's, here are we. So you can see I logged in during the session. I'm logged into 6 queues. I have been idle in the beginning. I answered an email. I had a call afterwards. I changed to a different status and so on and so on. So I can follow my agents through the day to see what they are doing the whole day. And of course, very well adjusted so that you can easily see what was going on. And in addition to that, it's of course also available in text form as a list, which can be exported and probably taking a closer look at it. Okay, back to my dashboard. I'm done today for the reporting, or at least for the moment. So the next part is the automation and self-service. So I'm ending the pause again. So in this case, I prepared a simple chat. So again, my customer from Universal Telecoms is wants to contact me again. In this case, again, through a different channel, through chat. So they are opening up the web page. And again, fully flexible, whatever data you want the customer to enter before starting the chat. Now, I created a simple decision tree. So in the beginning, I'm first of all asking whether it's a customer or a partner or a prospect. In this case, it's a customer. It's asking now for my customer ID for the PBX number. And it's just asking whether it's for an existing order or an invoice topic or whatever. So I already created an existing order. I want to upgrade, so I'm choosing the existing order part. Okay, now I'm assigned to the queue and of course then distributed to agents. So in this case, again, Christine is receiving the chat and I'm accepting the chat. Of course, you can see all the history, whatever the customer already entered before during this automation process. And again, I can see all the data which is available for this specific contact, all the previous activities, the account, and all the tickets and so on. So lucky I am, of course, the templates are exactly available for this specific situation. So I'm just adding a generic greeting. The customer is responding that they already sent an email earlier about upgrading the PBX. Okay, I'm receiving that as an agent. Okay, I know there is a ticket, so I'm just going down. I can see, ooh, they already sent it today. They want to upgrade to Business Premium. So again, I'm just assigning the ticket. I will let the customer know that I found the ticket, so you want to upgrade to Business Premium. The customer is just having an additional question about the mobile app. Of course, again, I have the perfect template for that available so that I can answer directly to that question. And last but not least, the customer is happy with my answer and is done with the conversation. So I'm closing down the conversation. In this case, again, I can choose a status. And the customer is automatically is asked for a rating for this experience. And of course, it was a very good experience. I answered the chat within seconds. So of course, I get 5 out of 5. Very well. Now, in the next part, we're going to take a quick look about the integrated CRM. The CRM, as also Gerhard already mentioned before, it's imported from several different systems, but it could also be filled manually or through API or something like that. So the CRM is built into accounts. An account, based on the account, they of course have, again, all the information on that account, all the tickets, all the calls, which have been before. And of course, every account has contacts. The contacts, again, very same. I can see all the details for this specific contact. And in this case, of course, also already the NPS score. So I already have 83%, which is actually pretty good in this case. And last but not least, the records. So everything that doesn't fit into contacts and accounts can be put in custom forms, which can be built on your own. You've got several different options what you can add there. In this case, I just created an easy customer survey, what business type it is, how many seats, and so on and so on. But again, this is fully flexible, so you can add as many fields as you like to have additional data in the system, which is, for example, for reporting and so on, of importance. And we just take a quick look at the integrations. There are lots and lots of integrations available out of the box, and of course it's continuing to grow. So first of all, we've got several different options for authentication. So you can use single sign-on through Microsoft Active Directory, OAuth 2.0, and so on and so on. And several different CRM systems are available. In this case, I'm using Salesforce for the integration. It's fully flexible how you use them. So you have all the Salesforce fields available and you can fill them into all the fields within the system. So you just assign which field from Salesforce is filled into a field in the CRM, in the built-in CRM system. And this data is synchronized automatically every half hour. So you've got all the currently available information always available in the system and up to date. And finally, I'm going back to my ticket to take a quick look at the omni-channel part, which is the most important part of the system. So you can see we created a ticket today. We had an addition. So we've got the inbound email, the outbound email. We had a call afterwards with some notes. We had a chat. Of course, we've got the full chat conversation available within that ticket. So whenever you are again answering, having a call or whatever, you will see everything what was going on before, who handled it, who answered what happens based on this case. And it's no problem at all to find this information within the ticket. Okay, that's it for the live presentation. So I'm handing back over to Gerhard.
Thank you very much, Philip. I try to share my screen again. So I override Philip, Jalop, and you again see the screen. And we are at the end of our webcast, and we are even right in time. So there are 2 minutes left. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to ask us at any time, any questions through your contact channels. We are, of course, all the time available for you. Hopefully you had some fun and you got some new and interesting informations. And I would say I hand over to Carmen if you have some final words.
Thank you very much, Gerard. Bien, pues damos por finalizada la presentación. Si tenéis alguna pregunta que nos queráis hacer ahora, está abierto el canal. También podéis usar, si queréis, el chat para que nos contéis qué os ha parecido, si tenéis alguna duda y demás. Tenéis ahora la oportunidad de hacerlo. Si no, pues nada, daros las gracias por haber estado hoy aquí con nosotros. Como hemos comentado, esta sesión ha sido grabada, con lo cual os enviaremos el enlace para que podáis verlo de nuevo si queréis. Y os enviaremos también la presentación, ¿vale? Y cualquier duda que os surja, tanto yo como Alberto, Domarco, estamos a vuestra disposición para pues tomar todas vuestras cuestiones y dudas y llevarlas a cualquiera de los ponentes que nos han acompañado hoy. Y nada, agradeceros vuestra asistencia. So that's all. Thank you very much to everyone. Thank you, Philip, Gerard, Christian, for your explanation about this new tool. I think that it's really, really interesting, and I think that our partners are going to be very happy to play with this new tool. Any question, doubts, or whatever I have already said, that they can send us through me or Alberto Marco, our operations manager here in Spain, so they can send us any doubt or comment. So, and that's everything for today. So thank you very much and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you very much. Have a nice weekend.
You.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Ciao. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Adiós. Gracias.